Hey guys, what's going on? It is Thursday night, Real Labs on Real Radio. I think the date is the 14th. I could be wrong, but I'm gonna go with it. If it is, ain't. Who cares? It's Ken Miller. I make the rules here, son.
It's the 15th.
Yeah, the 15th is what I said, Mike.
Really?
15th.
You know we're recording this. Like I can check that. It's like
yeah, you can check it, but you got bad hearing, man. But the voice we have right now is Ken Miller. I'm your host for the night. I'm joined in the virtual studio with three of my best friends in comedy from the Lowdown, right of the Lowdown, and from the Obligatory podcast, which is back. I see Mike Hurley. He is here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Making that big podcast money now.
So what's the deal? So, because I see Obligatory, then I see the Nah Dude or whatever the other one.
Yeah. Kermit Gonzalez and I do the Obligatory podcast, and we had Pedro Lima who would fill in whenever I wasn't available to do the Obligatory podcast. And basically, Kermit likes Pedro better than me, so they started their own podcast. So, if you want to hear the same exact podcast every week, just Pedro's voice instead of mine.
The clips are funny. The clips have been hilarious to me, though.
In Mike's defense, Kermit and Pedro are the same person, just one smaller and one's larger.
Yeah. It's like twins.
It's pretty much the same person.
It's the movie Twins, bro.
Pedro got a finger cut off of him, and it grew up to be Kermit.
No, dude. So one is Baby Groot, one is actual real Groot. Kermit's little Baby Groot, man, dancing.
What's the thing from Total Recall growing out of the stomach?
Oh.
The little symbiote thing.
Yeah.
The voice you hear talking now is Monsters in the Morning winner of 2014, 15, 16, and 17. I don't know what year you won, so I just give you all four of them. Who cares? Yo, Miguel Colon Jr., what's up, brother?
What up, man? What up, bro?
Yo, we were talking during the break, me and Miguel, we were talking about because Mike, y'all didn't see it in the beginning. Mike Kids came on, and one of them didn't have a shirt on. I was like, when the last time you went to bed without a shirt on?
Oh, and I was telling them boys, man, I felt like a complete bitch one day because it was cold and I was hot all weird. So I took my drawers off and I was like, but I had a shirt on and I was like, if they find me dead, I'm gonna be laying here like a lady with t-shirt and no panties on.
Oh no!
And the police report that like he was dressed like Winnie the Pooh when he passed.
Yo, like I can't remember the last time I went to bed without a shirt on. Like,
are you serious, man?
I
can't
wear a
shirt. I can't sleep with a shirt on.
Yeah,
dude, I can't, bro. I wear a t-shirt and I wear like pajama pants, bro. I just
I'm dying to ask you this, Ken. Do you guys as grown men, do you actually go out and buy pajamas?
No. My wife is about every I've ever had.
I have pajama pants that I have, but technically it's usually basketball shorts and a shirt that can't be worn outside anymore.
I get pajama pants for like every Father's Day, birthday, Christmas. I'm like, how often do you people think I sleep? Every day?
It's weird because as an adult, I've never gone out and said, "Oh, I got to go buy some pajamas." It's always like some bicycles, like some shorts,
bicycle shorts.
Yeah,
now I want to see that.
Jay's got on some MC Hammer tights.
I do, and
I think your significant other will buy you pajama pants just so they have something to wear to bed.
Yeah.
So like, hey, I got you these. Oh, I don't really wear pajamas. That's fine. I'll wear them.
The wife beater you wear to sleep in is not even just a wife beater. It's a domestic violence wife beater.
Amen.
Got holes in it.
I was about to say, because I see James as a wife beater, basketball, and one shorts type person in the bed. Like I see him
absolutely
like he about to go play one-on-one.
I dress like I'm gonna be athletic, but in the bed, I got it.
I used to tell people I dress like if somebody break in this house, they got to play me one-on-one to get my stuff.
You can't box them out for the TV.
Yeah,
like, bro, you got on a best jersey.
I have to tell you, I did a gig down in Palm Beach, Florida, and I was driving home. It was early in the morning, so I stopped at my parents' house. I knew they were out of town. I stopped there in Port St. Lucie before going all the way up to Orlando. So I stopped there, just use the bathroom. And I didn't know my little brother had moved back in. So I'm in the bathroom and I come out and there's just this 6'4" naked white dude standing in front of me. And I open the door. He's like, "Ugh." I'm like, "Ah." I'm like, "What the hell, dude?" He's like, "I thought you were a burglar." I'm like, "And this is how you greet a burglar?" It's like no weapon, no nothing, just 6'4". He's a little bit on the redneck side, just like chilling. I'm like, dude, what do you do to people that break into this house?
What you do is you just stand
You know what
there,
I do to him,
hard
buddy?
yourself, staring them in the eyes,
He's just,
and then they open the door and they're like, "So you here for the party
Miguel.
or what?"
Miguel's right. Maintain dominance.
Yeah.
just there
Maintain dominance.
just there with a little jar of KY jelly going, "You picked the wrong house tonight, son.
It's like a spider walked into the web.
You ain't gonna be the only one breaking and entering."
Unless he mess around, get some freaking to do like me too.
I heard about this place. Why you think I came?
Yeah.
Yo, man. And the fourth of the four musketeers, man, he is the guy who runs the lowdown and one of the original hosts of this show. My man James Aloysius Yan. What up, James?
What's going on? I love that. Hey, that's the new thing. Every time we have a new show, you got to give me a new middle name. That's what we're going to be doing from now on. I'll be
Aloysius Yan. What you cooked this week, bro? You be cooking. What you cooked this week?
Oh, Ken, I'm so glad you asked me, brother, because for 2 years now, I had a brand new smoker in my garage. I never opened it. I just broke it out, did the initial smoking. Today I cooked some simple chicken parmesan, some breadsticks, all homemade, of course, sauce and all that. No. This is just me cooking regular.
I was already like,
whoa,
James.
like, yo, that's a good idea.
Parmesan, smoked breadsticks. That's a
we're having baby backs tomorrow with a side of brisket, just because I want to see what's gonna happen tomorrow when I use my smoker.
Let me tell you something. You know you fat when the brisket decides. I ain't never heard nobody say the meat was the side, bro.
James hollowed out a like chicken leg, and the thigh is a straw.
And is it electric smoker pellet?
Electric.
Yeah,
no pellet. It's actually wood chipped.
I'm gonna tell you right now, for me, because I've been smoking pretty much all COVID. I did not enjoy the baby backs. The St. Louis style ribs were smoked better to me.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Now, Ken, let me ask you a question. As a guy that cooks a lot of stuff in his smoker, where do you go? Like, where's the place you go? You're like, man, I want to get some quality meat. Where do you go? Because I'm curious.
I go to Sam's because I can get a bigger cut of meat. Now, if it's just me and the wife, I go to Publix because she won't eat meat from anywhere but Publix. I cannot get meat from Walmart in this house. I can't get meat or vegetables or fruit at Walmart and bring.
Neither can regular customers because that ain't meat at Walmart.
Hey James, have you ever been to Freshfield Farms? Used to be Mom's Meats, Pop's Produce.
Just went this weekend, dude. I bought $200 worth of meat.
That's like 4 shopping carts there too.
Yeah,
like
bro.
Freshfield.
Amazing prices. Oh my God, brother! It's off Orange on Michigan.
On Compton, that's the name of the street too.
Yeah,
bro. Let me write that down,
bro. Man. That's down the road from my house.
Pork chops, Ken. Pork chops.
Farms.
Pork chops are $4.
Yeah, it used to be called Mom's Meats, Pop's Produce, and then right next door to it, because one place is a butcher shop, and then right next door to it is the produce shop, which is the only thing you gotta go in and out. That's the only problem. But
yes, right. You can't dilly dally. You got to be in and out. You got to know what you want when you go in there.
Wow, they rude.
No, they just quit, man. It's packed.
It's as big as my bedroom.
Yeah,
but it's just packed with good meat. Like everything looks pristine.
And it's a real butcher shop too. So you can come over there and be like, hey, like if I want to make meatballs, I'll have them make me like a third veal, a third beef, a third pork. And they'll grind it all up and bring it for you. I did braciole for like my mom's birthday, and they pounded the veal thin, the pork thin, everything. Yeah, fresh. And the thing about it too that's really cool is like it's dirt cheap and expensive. I'm talking like 3 pounds of chicken wings. You're talking $10. $10. 3 pounds of wings, man.
I go tomorrow, man.
The meat's pristine.
I gotta bring my friend on this show sometimes. I've talked to him about it before. You know Jay, who does like marketing for us for the show?
Yeah.
You know he's like the guy who either is the guy or knows the guy for everything. I got a buddy named Jay Gibbs back home. This guy has done everything since high school. He always had like 4 or 5 side hustles going. He's been, he works dispatch as one of his jobs for the police department down there now. He's worked as, prison guard, but he's also an alligator trapper right now.
Yeah.
But he also had this thing in high school where he would drive up to Cocoa Beach, meet the ships when they came in, all these seafood ships, pay like a couple of bucks, bring a bear cooler, and then he's just calling up, hey man, you want a pound of shrimp? You want a pound of shrimp? And just dropping off shrimp. His latest thing is he's like, yeah, I bought in on a couple of cows. I'm like, you bought in on a couple of cows? He's
One
like,
of my coworkers
yeah, man.
did that.
He's like, in Fort Pierce, it's this farm. Me and my buddy went in. We own a cow. They raise the cow, and then they cut the cow and package it. He's like, I got a freezer full of cow right now. He's got a buddy down the road that has like 3 pigs. They're raising the same way. I'm like, dude, what the? He's like, dude, you don't understand how cheap meat is when you raise it and do it yourself.
I will testify. That's my grandmother's farm. That's what we used to do. She would raise hogs. She raised cows, and she would just go to the butcher shop with the actual animal and say, I want this cut. I want this much of this. I want this much of that. And I want, and meat. They had a shed that was a deep freezer, and it was just hanging meat everywhere, man.
What was that like for you? Like visiting, making friends with the animals, giving them names, and then they weren't there the next time?
Oh no, they told me the truth. We knew there was no Santa, and we knew these animals are going to be food.
Whoa.
You didn't get the Sean as well.
Let's not gloss over this. What's up with Santa? My kids are still in the room. What's up with Santa?
Santa is very much alive and real.
Yo,
you can get Santa cut however you want to at James Young.
I'm gonna tell my kids the Taliban killed Santa.
You like venison?
That's why
you like venison? There used to be 13 reindeer.
Right. Yeah.
I'm gonna go there, man, because I get my
good.
oxtails from Publix. But I don't know if you guys. I know we talked about oxtails, and you guys don't really do oxtails like I do.
I do.
Publix cut them like that big. They're huge. So when
you can get the little ones there,
I like them thin because for me, when you do them thin, you can do them in So I got 2 recipes. I do a stew, like a beef stew. Yeah. But then I got a recipe that I got from one of my favorite racist cooks of all time, Paula Dean.
And come on, man, that's my boo. You know that's my boo.
Yeah, well, they're braised. So you braise them, but then you cook them in like a red wine sauce. But when they're thick, I just feel like they don't cook well. Like, but when they're thin, they just so fall off the bone.
If they're that thick, you're gonna need a pressure cooker to really get them as tender as you want.
So I did that because you know me. When I get something, I'm on it for like a minute. So I had the Instapot. So remember, I was Instapotting for like a month. And I was just looking up recipes and cooking stuff. So oxtails was one thing I did. I didn't feel like it seasoned them good enough. I felt like the Instapot doesn't season the way when you slow cook it or you cook it in the oven all day. Like I feel like it's more seasoned. The Instapot, if you want something like right now, it's Instapot. Like Instapot to cook something that takes 7 hours and 35 minutes. Yeah. But it just doesn't taste the same to me.
Right.
It doesn't.
You can't beat that. You can't beat that tried and true.
That's like the air fryer. I love the air fryer, but I mean, if you are a connoisseur of like that fried oil, fresh oil dropped in, it ain't gonna be the same. Yeah. You just gotta learn to like it. Yeah.
I will tell you the best thing for an air fryer is when you have something that you had like the previous day that was fried. Put it back in that air fryer, like if it came from the oil. If you want to make it just as crispy, put it in the air fryer. It does wonders on fried food.
So that's my next purchase. So is the air fryer really worth it?
Yes. Yes.
But who you got? Because Emerald air fryer keeps popping up on my TV. And then the other one is like Magic XL.
I got the Magic. I think I got the Magic one.
The Magic XL 75,000.
I think I got the Magic.
I got it because it sounded like a plane. I remember that. I was like, ooh, that's the fight.
You got the G6? The G6?
Yeah, I can imagine Congress fighting over. We don't have money for the Magic XL 75,000. The distinguished gentleman from New Orleans was like, my city is gonna build it and we gonna have
it. Mike, we got 30 seconds. Mike, you got 2 kids. What is your go-to cooking device in your house? Or do y'all eat out a lot?
Uber Eats.
Oh no, I eat out. I eat out a lot. Like a lot, but the kids are always, their mom takes care of them, and they're kids, so they like the basic stuff. They like mac and cheese, grilled cheese, pizza, stuff like that. But she does all the organic stuff. I know because I pay the grocery bill. I'm like, really? we could get a lifetime surprise of Kraft for what you pay for 4 boxes of this stuff. You know that, right?
Hey,
Mike got organic light bulbs.
Yeah,
which is just a candle. Hey guys, we got to run a commercial real quick. When we come back, we're gonna talk birthdays, national holidays, and we're gonna talk about how expensive funerals are. Stay tuned. Real Radio, Real Laughs. We're back. Real Laughs on Real Radio. I'm hosted tonight. I'm in Kim Miller. It is Thursday. October the 15th. Like I told Hurley it was, even though he didn't believe me. I'm joined in studio, well, virtual studio with Mike, Miguel, and James John. We've been talking about cooking and eating because we all are kind of fat. Uh,
You guys,
uh,
you guys wish you were fat. It just didn't happen for you. But I always get
Mm-hmm.
that vibe that I'm like, yeah, if they
dude,
could do it all again, if they could do
I'm
it all
not
again.
me, B. I'm back on the workout, man. And when I was home for like 3 weeks, I didn't work out. I ate like crazy, so I'm back on the workout thing, man. I've been working out now for 3 days. I've dropped 5 pounds. So
Congratulations.
I'm back on the workout thing, man. I don't know. I just when I'm big, Ken, I just don't feel good. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? When I started working out, man, I was sleeping better. Like I haven't been able to sleep for like 3 weeks. Like I
Yeah.
have not been able to sleep like 3. But once I started working out, I felt like I was sleeping better. I'm drinking more water, so my skin look better. Stuff they tell you on TV, and then it really is true. It really is true. But you know what,
True.
man? Let's go over birthdays real quick. We only got 3 birthdays, man. We got R&B, three R&B legends, if you want to call them: Keisha Cole, Genuine, and Tito Jackson.
Tito Jackson,
Tito.
my man,
Tito.
Tito
my
Jackson,
man.
baby.
Give me a
Tito,
tissue.
he
It's
had to
their
catch the same.
birthdays today,
The
man.
thing about Tito that you always got to remember is he had to catch the same ass whooping as all the other Jacksons.
And he ain't
He
even one of the best
he
Jacksons.
ain't even one of the best. Yeah,
Mm-mm.
he had to
What
set the
Tito
same
do?
ass.
He just did the triangle.
No, he thought he
He
was
played the
base.
bass. He played the
Oh, he
He's
did the
bass.
base.
bass? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm like Tito like that. Ting.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Tito, get it.
Mm-hmm.
And he had
Now
the little
look,
ponytail.
I
Yep.
gotta go with these national days. Now, if you Google national days, it's a lot of them today. So I'm gonna start with the first one. First one is what we need. Today is Global Hand Washing Day.
Okay.
That's like
It's
every day in
which
2020,
should
though.
be every day in 2020. It's also
Every other day, save
International
water.
Shakeout Day. So I had to look that out. International Shakeout Day is actually Earthquake Awareness Day.
Oh, I thought it was
They
if
should
you
call
shook,
it
if
that
you shook it
then.
more than twice.
I thought it was the Harlem Shake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, for food, today is National Cheese Curd Day.
Oh,
Only in
Uh,
Wisconsin.
yeah, only in
No.
Only in
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
For
And
fun,
Culver's.
Mike, this is for you. Today is National Grouch Day. For you,
Grouch.
yeah, one of the
Me?
grouchiest people I know.
I'm the happiest person you'll ever meet.
It's also National I Love Lucy Day.
Okay.
Oh,
It is
Okay.
Hey.
National I Love Lucy Day.
and her granddaughter just died like earlier this week. So,
Oh
yay.
man, wow. Okay, somebody should have told me. Well, speaking, it's also National and this for you, Miguel. So stay safe. National Latino AIDS Awareness Day.
Hey,
Okay.
I'm not. I tell you, I was losing weight a while ago, and I was like, I don't know if it's because I'm eating better or because I'm boning raw, but whatever it is,
Miguel's
I'm feeling good in this shirt.
Miguel's like, oh, I'm very aware who I gave it to. Don't you
yeah,
worry.
I'm like, hey man, you ever been on a diet that gives you lesions? You know?
Bro, you got some New Testament disease right there. That's some Old
Yeah.
Testament new
Yeah.
stuff.
It's
I'm
a
like, you know,
side
a lot of
effect of air fryer food. Is what it is.
It's also National Mushroom Day, which, by the way, I hate more than anything. I think mushrooms are disgusting.
I don't like
I used to.
mushrooms.
I used
Mushrooms are
to. My
disgusting.
wife got me to start eating mushrooms. I used to hate them, but now I like them.
I just don't want them. Like whenever people are like, hey, let's get some mushrooms on the pizza. I'm like, if y'all want to eat some dirt on the pizza, let's put some dirt on the pizza. Let's just,
Yeah.
And I'm gonna skip one because it's sad. I don't want to say it. But the last one is today is National Math Day. National Math Day.
New math or old math?
Let's go with old math because we're all old.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, because I can't do new math. I don't.
Yeah,
It's
we're
like
The
all
thing
old.
with new math though is that is how I do math in my head. That's just not how I do math on
On
paper.
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 You know,
Mhm.
because I'm like this new math doesn't. And then you ask me, hey, add 60 with 100. But I'm like, okay, let's hit 50 here. Let's put 50 here. Let's do
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
That's how I do it in
Okay,
my
you take
head.
40, put 42 to
Yeah.
60. So now I got 100. So I
100.
got
Yeah,
60 left. 160.
that's right.
Yeah. And then you say, do it on paper. You got to
Mm.
draw a line, kid. Okay.
Yeah.
Yo, my daughter, no, I was at work and they made fun of me because I was doing the months.
Yeah.
And I was like, I think it's like January, February, March. And they was like, no, you're supposed to do the knuckle thing.
What? January,
Like it's
February?
like January,
Oh,
March, April, May, June, July.
I
Like they
still don't know what month has
that's
30 days and
one of my coworkers
31.
make
no,
fun of
me
me.
either.
They were like, "You're supposed to do
Yeah.
like January, and then the next month is in the middle of the knuckle. February, March, April, May." And I was like, "Man, I just
For
count
what?
with my fingers."
Why?
Why?
Yeah. What's that do? What's
I
the
don't
I
knuckle
know.
guess
thing?
Mike, he was white.
the
I figured
knuckle
you
is
knew.
30 days or something.
I
All
don't know.
I
I
know is
thought
that
Mike would know that the dude's white. I figured Mike know all
Nah,
white culture.
nah, Ken. You see, the thing with us is we pay all our rent like for the year up front, so we don't worry about months.
Mhm.
Like you guys are the one. You're always going. Let's see, how far behind am I? March,
yeah.
April,
Listen,
May, June.
You ask me, I'm like, look, I'm Puerto Rican, not Mayan.
yeah,
Okay.
I
There you
like to.
go,
At this
son.
time, I would like to make a public service announcement. Ken just mentioned white people, and that was not James John. Thank you.
Mm.
I can do that, man. I can do that. My best friend, Mike Hurley, he white, so I can
Oh
say that.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You get privileges that I don't get apparently.
Mm.
Again,
Look,
that was Ken
man.
Miller.
And I get all the privileges. So.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So man, I've been gone for 3 weeks, man, and it
Mhm.
took me some time to talk about this. I actually started talking about it on stage, man, recently. My mom just recently passed away, and it was crazy because I'm realized because my father passed away a year ago in the same month, and I was
Yeah.
sitting here thinking, man, funerals are so damn expensive.
Mhm.
Like my father's funeral was $8,000. My mom's funeral
Oof.
was $10,000. Now,
Oof.
granted, they both had
Break it down, Ken.
so they had partial insurance. So my dad had like 3 grand, so we had to put up the other five. So I took 4,000 out of my 401k, and my aunts took care of the rest. My mama
Yeah.
had 4 grand, so we had to come up with the other six. So my family and some friends, some comedians, some military people helped donate, and then I came up with the rest. But you're talking, and my mama got cremated. Understand this? My
Mhm.
father got a military burial, so that was free. So we
Mhm.
Yeah.
don't even add the burial. So the coffin, the programs, we didn't have a church because of COVID, so that was part of the thing. She got buried at the funeral home.
Oh,
All
you couldn't
that,
go in the church. Like you
yeah,
couldn't actually.
we had to have it at the funeral home with 25 people. Is
Dude,
all we
Wow.
had because
dude.
of COVID.
Can't,
I can't
can't
believe you
explain
spent
that.
money. I can't believe you spent money on programs. You could have had Kermit do the flyers for a guest spot.
True. Now,
No,
Ken,
yeah.
explain to people because they don't know
For a
this. At a
guest
black
spot.
funeral, if you only can invite 25 people, there's 300 people that can't come.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. So that was
May
the
I
thing
add this?
about
There's
the
probably 200
viewing.
people who weren't going to come that are now
Yeah, yeah,
offended
yeah,
that you
yeah.
didn't.
Yeah.
That's gonna text me the next day like, man, I was gonna come, bro, but
If I can't
so
go, oh, the
you do
disrespect.
something called a viewing, and Mike
Yeah.
Yeah.
and Mike, and that's why I wanted you and Miguel here because I want to know what's
Mhm.
if we all do the same thing. So we do a viewing. That's when the body's
Mhm.
there and
Yeah.
everybody comes by and sees the body. My mama
Mhm.
had over 500 people come see her.
Right.
Then the next day we have the funeral, the actual
Mhm.
funeral. You
Hmm.
come to the funeral, pay your respects, whatever. Right after the funeral, we have something called a repast. Is where
Mhm.
you go eat food at somebody's house. Now,
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
just want to know: do every culture do this, Mike?
I was raised Catholic, and still most of my family, both sides, Irish, Italian, practicing Catholics. Every funeral I've been to is basically the same. It's you have the viewing at the funeral home one day. And there's usually like one in the afternoon and one later in the evening, so you can get more people in. And then the next day, you have a service at the church. Full on Catholic, usually about an hour or so. And then from the church, you go right to the cemetery, and that's where you do another small service when you do the burial. And then after that service, we'll go ahead and, if it's an Italian, like my Italian side, they always rent out like a hall and you just go and it's like a banquet. It's like they use the same hall for weddings as they do for funerals in the
Yeah.
Italian community. The Irish one is pretty much as soon as they're in the ground, you're out at a bar or maybe
Yeah,
someone's house. That's it. Lot of afterwards in the Irish side with just meeting up at like a local bar. Usually the person who passed away, their favorite bar. You go there and have a couple of drinks and
okay.
just
Now,
remember them.
now, Miguel. Before I get to you, I want to ask you
Yeah.
something else, Mike.
Yeah.
Do people bring food and stuff to the person's house?
It depends. Like I said, on the Irish side, not a big afterwards party or anything like that.
Not that
On
big
the
Irish
No,
cuisine.
no, 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 no,
no,
no, no, no. I'm talking about not the afterwards. I'm talking about up until the funeral. Like people will
Yeah.
bring food. Like
oh
I would never eat chicken again because
yeah,
people bring food to your house for
because they
black
know
families.
you're dealing with preparations,
Yeah.
and the last thing on your mind is cooking. Not so much. No, not on my
Okay.
family. I'm not saying it's not done. I'm just saying in in my family, it's not a big deal. No.
Okay, Miguel, your turn. Explain the Latino funeral to us.
All right. So mostly if you're Latino and you have some sort of Catholicism background, because Latinos, we like to take Catholicism as our base and then kind of add a little magic and mysticism to it. You know,
Mhm.
so like
Mhm.
with our the viewing could be 3 days. Like there could be 3 days of viewing because the old idea was people had to come from afar to view
Mhm.
and people couldn't
Right.
all make it. I think my grandfather's viewing was like 2 days. And then afterwards, just like Mike said, there'll be a day where it's a service, and then the body is taken immediately afterwards to where it's buried, and then you'll usually go back to someone's house. Like if that fits, like I'm thinking like New York and places where people could go back to people's houses. If you can't go back to somebody's house, then it will be like a hall that's used, like a reception hall. But I haven't been to too many of those. And then it's gonna be people that you've never seen before all over the house.
Yeah.
Everybody's eating, everybody's talking. The worst part is too though, it's gonna be like honestly, there's gonna be like if you the weirdest part is if you know the house. Like if you're at your grandfather's house. Because now there's like 80 people sitting around and you like, hey, I don't know
Yeah.
none of y'all.
Dude, we
Off
have
this
4
couch.
generations of Millers at my
Yeah.
mama's repast.
A
And then-
little off. Sorry, Miguel.
Yeah.
A little off topic here. There's 2 things that have started creeping me out with funerals besides people being dead. One is, and Miguel, maybe you know better than me because most of the times I see it, it's happening in like Latin culture.
Yeah.
What's this thing with like propping the bodies up and dressing them
Oh,
on
that- yeah,
sunglasses and
That's
stuff?
Yo,
like,
Because
that's
that
like a new
drives
thing.
me like that freaks the hell out of me.
Which,
That's like a
by the
new
way,
thing that
Mike,
came about.
I should have did that for my mama. As much money as we spent, my mama should have been at a card table, just
Hey.
holding 6 books of spades. Like I'm
Like-
like, my mama
like
got
a bad
sis-
wax museum, man.
My
Smoking-
sister said
Smoking Benson and Gin.
What's
my
up, Miguel?
sister said she's gonna get my mom stuffed and put her in one of the rows sitting there. And then all of a sudden the light's gonna drop. Everybody's gonna think she's in the casket, and then the light's gonna drop. My mom's been sitting there in the second row the whole
like
time.
what, like an
Yo.
American Idol, like
Yeah.
a ABC, like you just advance to the next
Yeah,
round. Do, do, do.
boom.
And then the other thing, and this goes along that line as well, but also I've seen a lot of white people doing this and it irks me. People taking selfies by like the
Nah.
casket. Like you
Nah.
lost your
Nah.
last
I remember
chance to
black
take a
funerals,
picture.
though, when I used to go to
Mhm.
funerals with my homeboys, and they had that funeral picture where they
Oh,
had a
with-
picture
they're
of the
holding
person in
hands
the
over the
casket and
casket.
stuff.
Yeah, you cannot do that in Greensboro at the funeral on Hart. And shout out to Hargett Funeral Home. You are not allowed to take a picture of the body, a selfie, or anything and post it
We're
on social
superstitious
media.
about that.
Right.
It's
you
not
got to
even that,
buy
it's
it
a
from the
lawsuit.
funeral home.
Yeah,
They have the
exactly.
photo in the
Yeah,
camera.
yeah, it's-
1995 for the
Yeah.
package. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lawsuit though. They had somebody took a picture and they put it on social media, and then their grandmother's floating around social media in this coffin, and they sued the funeral home.
Hashtag living her best life.
Right.
You know?
So of course one of my
Yo.
brothers takes a picture, and I'm like, "Hey, you got to take this off your face." And he one of them new old people to Facebook, so
He
he
had a-
don't know no better.
He had one of those Polaroid cameras.
Yeah, he was like,
just
yeah.
I'm gonna take a picture of one of the people, and then I'm gonna jib jab them. So
Yeah,
that
you
was
gotta
so
take-
hard.
Yeah.
like he was taking a picture with John Witherspoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, my mama said it's $5 for every picture that y'all take with me in this coffin today.
We got to
Yeah.
pay for this funeral somehow,
Mhm.
baby.
Hey, we're gonna run the commercial real quick and we come back. We'll stay on this topic because James, I want to hear the last funeral you went to. And
Okay.
I also want you to finish what you were saying about Latino funeral and stuff. But we'll be back on Real Labs for Real Radio. We are back, Real Labs, Real Radio, October 15th, Thursday night. Make sure you check us out. We got a podcast on the iHeartRadio. You can find us on YouTube. Mike always puts the videos up on YouTube. So if you hear the craziness, maybe sometimes you hear the craziness, you also get to see the craziness. You get to see Mike's background, James' background, Miguel's background, and you can see my kids' bunk beds behind me. Also, please find us on social media on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. So we were
Ken-
talking about
Ben always looks like he's filming in like some center for abused women.
right? Baby, y'all get up on the bed and hold your clothes till they take
Hush
your clothes
up.
here, baby.
Yeah. You just
What
walk
movie
in the
that-
shelter and yell, "Where's my wife?"
I just watched a movie that was like that. They went to the shelter and they was like, come come in. It might have been Diary of a Mad Black Woman. No, it was Deeds. It was Tyler Perry Deeds, and she was like,
Oh
"Come on,
wow.
yeah." So, anywho, we were talking about funerals.
Yeah.
My mom just recently passed, and I just want to know what was different with the cultures. The cultures when it come to funerals, do they do the same thing? And like I said, like I was telling Mike, like people bring so much food over. I
Yeah.
was so tired of chicken. I was like, "Can y'all bring some fish sticks, Salisbury steak?"
Mm.
Some
Now,
salmon, something,
be,
bro. I don't want no more. Please don't bring no more Bojangles over here.
before we get into, I know you want to finish like the different way people do funerals and receptions. I was kind of shocked. Like I didn't talk to you much about your mom, but you had been up there a couple of months ago, right?
Yeah,
You went up for a visit, and as far as I knew, like what's was there anything going on with her at the
nothing,
time?
nothing
Because
at
it
all.
seemed like a shock, like out of
It
nowhere.
was
Like I didn't hear about her being sick or anything.
it was a shock. I went up in August. My brother got sick. He's on dialysis. I went up in
Mhm.
August. I spent the week up there. I'm working from home now, so I can go on the road all the time. I just take my laptop and go. Spend the week with my mom. Y'all see my Facebook stories. My mama's funny. I'm always posting about her.
Yeah.
She's always yelling at me for not coming home, for not cutting my beard. And the thing that was crazy about it is my niece got married on the 20th of September. And I was supposed to go home, but my money was funny and my mama was there. Now my niece Shakia is her oldest grandchild, so she got to see her oldest grandchild get married, and everybody was like, "Mama was there, loud, making fun of people, being Ruth the May, telling everybody how fine she is." And
Mhm.
she was like, "Kia, you look good in that dress, but you ain't finer than your grandma." Like she was being, my
Nice,
mama was being
man.
Ruthie Mae. And then, dude, and I tell people all the time in a black family, if you get a call at 7 a.m. or you get a call at
We
midnight, somebody
terrified.
dead.
We
Somebody
terrified.
dead.
Yep,
So my
absolutely.
brother called me at 7:15 a.m. and I didn't pick up because I had just logged into work. My sister called me like 15 minutes later, and I was like, "Yo,
Mm.
what's up?" And she was crying and hung up. My brother called me again. He says, "Ken, I need you to sit down." Automatically, I thought my brother Troy had died, the one on dialysis. I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh, my brother's gone." And he said, "Mama was dead." And I was like,
You lost
"Bruh."
it.
Done.
Yeah.
I was like, "Cause you gotta understand, that's my second mama. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm adopted, so that's mama number two for me. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
she my aunt, but she legally adopted me
Yeah.
and raised
Yeah.
me since I was 5." And I was like, "What happened?" And they said her nurse came in and delivered her breakfast that morning. They said she had been dead like 5 hours.
So she didn't have
It's
like any
She had diabetes. She had
right.
diabetes, and every now and then she would have an issue where her sugar would drop. And
Mhm.
but either my sister would make it there in time, or somebody would be there with her.
Mhm.
But from what I'm hearing from people, the guy that spoke at my mom's funeral, he said that my mama had been calling him a lot lately. Like she knew she was going home.
Did she?
Yeah.
As we see in our community, your homecoming.
Yeah.
She knew she was coming home. We got scared because when we called the insurance policy, we thought she had renewed it because you got to keep that insurance for 2 years in order for
Mhm.
you to get that money. But my mama had called to get more insurance. Like I think she knew her time was coming,
Mhm.
and she went peacefully in her sleep.
How old?
She wasn't in a hospital. She was 71 years old.
Oh, okay.
God bless.
71 years old. So it
This
wasn't
God bless.
something that, it wasn't something that she was, besides the diabetes, and she was a big woman. She was a big woman, but she was also active. My mama went to church. My mama
Mhm.
went shopping. My
yeah.
mama talk junk to everybody. Like people. When I tell y'all, man, the thing that got me the most, like I didn't cry. I cried that day. I didn't cry until I got back home because I'm her strong child. I got to be the one to make sure everything right, everything paid for, everybody eating,
Yeah.
everybody dressed, everybody. The thing that got me was I never knew the impact that my family, the Millers, have on Greensboro. Dude, when I tell you, like hundreds of people came and signed that book, hundreds of people. If my mama had a funeral, it would have had to be in the Coliseum. It was so many people, and this lady was like, "Your family's so distinguished, you just don't know." Because I left at 18.
Mhm.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I didn't hang around my family that much. I had friends. I was out with my
Mhm.
homeboys. I was like, "Man, I ain't hanging around y'all weirdos. I'm about
Yeah.
here. I'm about to go sell dope." You know. so so yeah, Mike. It was, dude. It was just something that we didn't expect, man. But she was the matriarch of our families, and
That's
but it brought my family together. Besides one sister who's a bitch, but
that's rough though. When we lost my grandmother on my Italian side is when my whole that side of the family fell apart. Because she was the one that no matter how much you hated each other, you were here on holidays, you were here on Sunday. If you fought in front of her, you were both getting beat. You know?
Yeah, you had to be there. Oh, James, I'll tell you the story about that sister off air. Yeah, no,
Okay, I got you. All right.
But
Bro,
that
we all got one.
The death of my mama brought my family together. Like I said, we have 4 generations. I'm talking about people that were born in 1950 to people who were born in 2019.
Yes, sir. I understand.
Like 4 generations of Millers there, bro. And you know, rest in peace, mama. But to get my family together, man, that was a
you know what's
good.
You know what's funny, Ken, about that too? And this happens in Latino families at weddings and funerals. The two crooked ass relatives who have never really kicked it start talking, and he's like, "So what's up, man?" And the next thing he's like, "Oh, baby, man, shit, you get me those, man. I could move them quick." You know,
you know what I mean? Like,
you get introduced to your cousin, like, "Hey, this is Felipe. Hey, what's up, Felipe? Felipe worked for that armored car company. Hey, baby, what up, yo?"
And you wouldn't know that because you ain't talked to each other in 7 years. And it'd be like my brother, and I hate to put this out there, but my brother and my niece hadn't talked for 5 years over a cell phone.
Yeah.
A cell phone. And I was like, look, man, mama gone. Mama wants y'all. And they hugged, they talked, they cried. Everybody was crying. And now look, you've missed 5 years of each other's life. Over something that's so petty.
And she was like, "Yeah, you give me a call." Well, I would if I still had a cell phone. So, James, I know we were talking about funeral experiences earlier, like, and you've heard me and Miguel and Ken. Is it pretty much the same in your family as Ken's experience?
Ken's mom in his community is what my grandmother was, the one I talk about all the time in my act. My grandmother, Minnie.
The one with the farm and the animals?
The farm, the
animals.
animals.
Used to have animals?
Yeah. Ken, my grandma was...
bro, Minnie is an old-ass name.
Yeah.
You don't get no older than Minnie, bro.
Ask me how old she was when she passed, Ken.
How old?
98.
Whoa,
98
years
old.
Hey, you know, she used to sit there and talk to James. She'd be like, "Everybody think Lincoln was cool. He's all right."
Hey, he couldn't dance. I'm gonna tell you that.
She used to breastfeed Martin Luther King. She was she was up there.
Like, I knew Martin and Malcolm. I thought they were both
my grandmother was the funniest, coolest person that I knew in my life. I loved talking to my grandma because she was sharp. She, even in her older age, she was sharp. Always go to church, Ken. Always active. Always walking. And she was blunt. She was honest. Like, if you have sensitive feelings and grow up in the South, you're gonna have a hard time. Because
you have a hard time.
Woo! My grandmother met my wife. The first thing she said to her was, "Oh, girl, you beautiful. Why you married this ugly gorilla?" That's the first thing. The first thing she told my wife. And we went somewhere because we stayed with my grandma for like a week. We had a great time. We went somewhere, came back, and my grandma was like, "I cooked. I know you hungry because look how fat you are. Come eat this food, boy." Like, that was just my grandma, and I loved every minute of it.
It wasn't. She wasn't she wasn't trying to make you feel bad. That's how she says, "I love you." Black women show love.
That's like in Latino culture. Latino culture is blunt. If somebody doesn't even know me, and they see me down the street, they want to call me over. They'll be like, "Hey, gordito, gordito," which means but they don't mean like evilness or viejo for old man. Nobody means evil by it. They're just like, this is how I'm going to refer to you.
I think that's what a lot of people don't understand. It's like, you guys have a lot of the same family. Like, we got different cultures, but when you talk about your family, it reminds me so much of mine. But we just assume that regular people have the families we have.
Right.
Because when I treat people, like, insult them as soon as I see them or something like that, that's like a sign of affection for me. If I don't know you, I just don't talk to you. But like, when I go home for Thanksgiving, my older brother, if I haven't seen him in a year, I'll show up. He's like, "So you still gay? You still doing it? You still gay?" You know, like, we don't hug. We just insult. Like, you losing a little bit more hair. Like, when I'm around a family who the parents are like hugging and kissing and stuff like that, I feel uncomfortable. I'm like, they shouldn't be doing that. Like, not even in public, just at all.
They don't really like each other.
Yeah,
they don't really like each other.
You get both. Because it's this bluntness, but it's also, I mean, every time I go and see some of my uncles or everything, it's hug and kisses on the cheek. You know, like, I grew up with that. So, like, it's funny when people are like, I mean, when I moved down south, when I moved down to South Carolina, I remember some of my friends, their eyes, because like, I'd see my dad. Here's my dad, a Marine, full camis, ready to roll, and he's like, "Come here."
Yep.
on the sides of my cheek, and they're like, "What am I looking at?
Yeah.
Your papa kiss you?" And I'm like,
and we say out loud, "I love you." Like that's not a big thing. I love you. Like when my kids, every time they leave the house, it's so weird to see them actually drive away, like because they're that old now. I always tell my kids, "Please drive safe," and I love you. Like we and my family, because I've been through like trying times with family where I realize now in my older age, you never know when that's the last time you're gonna see somebody. So you don't leave the house without saying I love you.
Dude, I had just talked to my mother that Saturday because it was she had just celebrated her birthday.
Yeah.
So I had just talked to her, and dude, I still got the $50 in my wallet. I said, "Mom, I'm gonna send you $50." And then Monday, I found out about it, man. But Mike, I just want to get back to the insult part.
Before we go on to that, Kent, you shouldn't be holding on to that $50. It's gonna make you feel weird. Send it to me. You can put her name on it. You need to get out of your wallet, out of your house, and know that's going 50. To a good place.
I'm about to go put that down on some Jordan.
You can even write that Mike is still gay. He don't care.
about that, Kent. Like the funny thing is, I think it was just a day or two before that I talked to you, and I think I found out before some people because you would hit me up to be like, "Hey man, I can't do the show this week," and then you just kind of told me what was going on. I'm like, "Yeah, obviously, no problem." But you had just posted like that same day a funny story about your mom not knowing how. When she called you, you knew it was her.
Yeah.
How you know?
Yeah, she called, and I was like, "What up, mama? How you know it was me?" I'm like, "Cause you program in the phone." "Shut up, boy." I'm like, "What is?" I'm like, "Cause she had a cell phone, but her cell phone was like she gave it to one of my nephews. Like she had a cell phone, she gave it one of my nephews. But dude, I was laughing because Mike, you was talking about the insult thing with your brother, and I just felt like that's. Even in comedy, that's how we greet each other. Like I walked into a show. Jari Wright had a show last week. I walked in. Will Mills spoke to me. Sean Philippe spoke to me. Dwayne walked up and said, "Man, you fat. Look at your." I'm like, "Yo, you just walked in the door. Like you. Hello." He didn't even say, "Hey."
I forget who it was. It was some comic, but I came to Other Bar one night. This was years ago, and you told me, you're like, "Man, this comic came up to me tonight and said, 'Man, I just don't think Mike likes me.'" And Ken was like, "No, Mike likes you a lot. He thinks you're funny." He's like, "He's always telling me I suck and I'm not funny. I should give up." And Ken's like, "Yeah, if he didn't like you, he wouldn't talk to you at all."
Like I'm telling you, look here, man. If we don't walk up to you and say something to you that's so crazy and outlandish, we don't like. It's comedians I don't talk to at all. I just don't talk to them. But if I walk up to you and I was like I was James, when you said, "I'm making ribs with a side of brisket," man, you fat. That's
I mean,
how we show love.
It's hacky as hell, but my favorite thing to do still is to go up to like Ken after he just crushed at the Improv, and when he walks off the stage, I pat him on the back and be like, "Don't worry, you'll get him next time."
Every time. Tell me. And then the next day he'll send me a picture of me on stage. Every time.
Yeah,
man. So where y'all at this weekend, man? Where y'all at this weekend?
Tonight, no, what is it, Thursday?
Yeah.
Nowhere, man. Chilling.
This Saturday, I'm going to be at the Lake Helen Performing Center. Mike did it before with Kevin White. Man, I'm looking forward to it. So you guys look on my Facebook. If you want to get some tickets, please come out. I'll be with Ray Reyes.
If you have a chance to bring anything to record, like audio or anything, that's like a great room for it. The way it's built.
I'll do it.
If you want to do some video, it's got a great backdrop. Their stage is so cool. It's a very classic look. Yeah.
Nice. Mike, where you at this weekend, brother?
Nowhere, man. I was at Margaritaville last weekend, and then Tuesday night I was up at Christy B's room up there. So I got nothing going on. But you know what? I haven't actively been booking, and I think after this week I'm going to start reaching out to some of the bookers.
I've been doing the same. I've been sending stuff to bookers too, man.
Yeah.
But hey, man, that's our show for the week, man. We will be back Monday, October the 20 or something. But hey, I'm Ken Miller. That's James John. Miguel Colon Jr., Mike Hurley. Thank y'all so much for listening to Real Laughs on Real Radio. God bless you and good night.